Apologies, fellas, I'm running late this morning, but the story reveal trailer for Destiny 2 Beyond Light is out. If you have not watched this trailer right now, for the love of God, watch it right now.
Chains! For centuries we have been bound by them. We have become pawns of our own devices. No longer!
Darkness walks among us. We are all in great danger. My kind must survive. Please, send help.
Where is the signal coming from?
Here, Europa.
Wait!
Old friend, these powers, they are changing you.
Eramis' presence on Europa is not happenstance. Obsession propelled her here.
Our enemies stand no chance against this power. The great machine will finally know our pain.
Huh? Did you think about that? So throughout this video, I'm gonna pretend to know lore. All right, so things may be a tad bit spotty. But let me just give you the rundown from a lore casual. We're going to a very cold place called Europa, and I'm talking seriously cold. Essentially though, we're answering a distress beacon given out by Varix. Now we have many feelings toward Varix. Mine are a tad bit negative, considering that he did play a role, although indirectly, in the death of Kayden. This man used to run Prison of Elders and he bounced, which is pretty much why the prison went all crazy and Kayden suddenly found himself in a 1v6 or 7 or 30. Regardless of how you may feel toward Varix, I think most of us that are Destiny 1 veterans might have experienced rage during that trailer when Varix was getting frozen by Eramis. Now Eramis, she's the big bad boss of this expansion. And I think this is the first time, right? Like, am I getting this right? The first female villain, like true female villain. I know Oryx was like walking that thin line. Again, I'm very casual when it comes to lore, but Eramis, she all woman, man, and she's got a plan, which might be Fallen's best bet for victory. Just saying, they've been electing a lot of dude Fallens who have not been coming through for them. Not only does she have a plan though, she's discovered superpowers, essentially the darkness, which is what we see here where she's distributing it to her members. And like the way it's coming out of this shard, that looks like a shard of darkness, and then they're converting it into some way to merge with their body, thus giving them the power of stasis. Now on Bungie's page, they said the coming storm, a growing divide echoes in our collective unconscious. Precious gifts bestowed by the traveler. Unspeakable evil brought forth by the pyramids. As division spreads and distrust grows between alliances long thought unbreakable, the truths we hold dear will be questioned. Guardian, is there more to the darkness than we thought? Now looking at Eramis here, it states the deadly kell of darkness seeks to restore the glory of her people, to exact revenge on the traveler for abandoning them, to forge a Lixni, cultures anew, free from the weight of the past, now imbued with the power of stasis. She has found the ultimate tool to achieve her aims. Yeah, so in the trailer, you probably heard her say it. She said things like the great machine. She doesn't even call the traveler or the light or any type of endearing terms, right? No, it's just the machine. She puts it right up there with Siva, which, to be frank, I completely understand why Fallen don't like the traveler, all right? Traveler shows up, gives everyone superpowers. All of a sudden, the darkness is on the horizon, and the traveler's like, all right, I'm I'm out, man. And like the only reason why the Traveler didn't bounce on us is because Rasputin shot him down. Not gonna lie, Traveler, you're kind of being a pansy. By the way, again, I just want to mention there may be some inaccuracies with everything I'm saying right now. I'm a lore casual. Moving on though, we see some House Salvation elites. These are actually the lieutenants of Eramis. I'm gonna try to pronounce these the best way I know how. So we got Atrax, Critis, Phylax, Praxis, the highest ranking and most trusted subjects of the fallen Kell of Darkness. Now, these are skilled stasis wielders. They are as lethal as they are loyal, potent foes who will stop at nothing to advance Eramis' cause. I love it when Bungie does this. They did it with Forsaken, where they didn't just have one made villain, right? No, they had lieutenants. They had enemies you would run up against that were very difficult to take on, and memorable ones, right? Like, I remember all the lieutenants we had to take down in Forsaken. Now, this makes me wonder, are these going to be the only Fallen to have stasis powers? Or is this just going to be given out freely to all Fallen? I don't know, man. Moving on, we see Varix. Varix. After helping Aldrin Sov escape the prison of elders, Varix has only recently emerged from hiding, an uneasy ally in the fight against Eramis. He is a shrewd opportunist who wants to do good, even if his choices are always suspect. Oh, Varix is hella sus. I don't care what you say, guys. No, we may not kill Varix when we see him, if it even is an option. But can we agree he might need a beatdown? I love Varix just as much as the next person. But Kayden, dude. Now, the next one is the Exo Stranger, who has been appearing in this expansion a bunch. She's a mysterious Exo that has not been seen since the fall of the Black Garden. With exceptional insight into the future, she has made Europa her home. Her experience will guide Guardians' understanding of the power of stasis. Look, I'm not even going to pretend to know the lore surrounding the Exo Stranger, but let me give it my best shot. She's Anna Bray's sister. Huh? Somebody let me know if I'm wrong. Moving on to Eris Morn and the Drifter. Eris, a survivor of unspeakable horrors. Eris is a former hunter who has dedicated her life to understanding and defeating the darkness. Now she answers the Exo Stranger's call and the lure of stasis. Yeah, Eris has been kind of like dabbling with this stuff for a while now, messing with all kinds of weird looking balls. Got a funky looking rock / claw thingy. Regardless though, her combined with Drifter, oh, I like that. Drifter, smooth talker, scavenger, hustler. The Drifter is all of these things and more. A light bearer from the earliest days of the last city. He has long boasted of his connections to the darkness. For him, it's not about right or wrong. It's about survival. On a spiritual level, I identify with Drifter more than any other character inside of Destiny. Dude's just trying to win, man. He don't care about the ethics of it, which makes me wonder how the three of these very different characters are gonna be button heads. Now, as far as the trailer goes, there's one other detail I want to show that does symbolize something, and it's our character talking. Normally, if there's an underlining dark tone that's being added to an expansion, our character talks. The death of Kayden. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with our storylines getting a little darker. Hell, we're playing with stasis, man. It should be darker. Now, Eramis is obviously doing all of these things to get back at the Traveler. But it was a very interesting thing later in the trailer where she talks about the great machine will finally know our pain. And you notice she does an attack and her stasis crystals are red. No one's brought this up, but it's red, man. I know we're in speculation land right now, but is it possible that Siva is involved in some way? Now, granted, more than likely, that's just like a signature look of Eramis here and not exactly any type of infused stasis ability. But boy, wouldn't that be crazy? The power of Siva, darkness, merged it into one. Now, I personally didn't really care for the whole Siva backstory. Kind of weak in my eyes, man. Now, come on, Iron Lords. Really? So I'm not that concerned if Siva comes back or not. I just noticed the red crystals and it looked interesting. And more than likely, it's just stasis crystals signifying that those are enemy stasis crystals. Because I mean, if I start doing stasis and then the Fallen starts doing stasis, I mean, where does it end? Just got crystals all over the place. You don't know which crystals are yours or theirs. So I can completely understand if enemy stasis crystals has like a red glow to it. So guys, that is your story trailer breakdown. Things are looking pretty serious over on Europa. This Eramis villain, I love her. I think she's fantastic. She might be what the Fallen have been missing this entire time. Now, will she be like another Oryx? I don't know, man. I don't think she'll be on that level. Maybe, but it all depends on how well Bungie does this in game, how well their cutscenes are. I feel like Forsaken really set the tone well when Kayden was like the first one to get taken out, right? It made us realize that these lieutenants, one, were intelligent because they took his ghost out, and two, they're not there to take prisoners. They're there to kill, and just to kill. All I can say is there is a lot of fallen, man. I mean, a lot of them. Good houses, bad houses, in between houses. I think this expansion is definitely gonna ride that fine line on who we can trust and who we can't. I also think this may actually give us a mirror to look at in regards to our own in-game powers, right? The Fallen at some point had to make a decision of whether or not to use these darkness abilities. We're obviously going to be given that decision, and we will be wielding them, which is what we're so excited about. But as you see, there is a split amongst Fallen. They're not all exactly united under this new power. And I really do think that someday Destiny 2 itself is going to have a split where you choose darkness or the light. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.